Going to have some beach time.
Den skulle have haft tuder.
You hit that one tight. Solid putt.
Morning, Anna. That's a good stretch. Good stretch. You too, Didge. Good stretch. Today is going to be the day that we fire that brand new dryer. It better be anyway. Something's wrong if we don't. Are you good? Good morning. Thank you to Simply Safe for sponsoring today's video. Is working right after cold. Geez, it might be a coat and gloves kind of day. This wind is cold. We've got 3 trucks full of corn and a grain cart sitting right out there. So we've got 4,500 bushels or so to run up into the wet bin. Once we got everything working there, we make sure the leg is working right after DHS was up there and fixed things. We'll get some corn in there, and then we're gonna fire this bad boy. Our exchanger wheel is set to dryer. Our dryer is still closed up there, which is fine because I want everything to go into the wet bins. We did move these the other day, so this is the new wet bin. That one we want to keep empty for now. In other words, if I fire the leg and start putting corn in the pits and run it in there, it should go to that wet bin. It appears to be coming in. Eh? Well, somehow our hinges on one of our doors got out of adjustment by sitting here and doing nothing. That figures it's always something. I can let that fill for a bit before I got to get over here and figure out what I got to do with this. That's convenient. For the time being, I fixed it. I just had to get real mad at it off camera. Okay, let's test this and see what we got in truck number 1. Ooh. Now, how in the world did that get in there? Right out of the field. That is magical. As in past years, I'm going to have to explain myself why we are harvesting before the corn is completely dry. There's a few reasons. I mean, we've got a good forecast right now. It looks like the 2-week forecast looks really nice, but at any point in west central Minnesota, the weather can flip. If we get an inch of rain with the temperatures we have at night and way less sunshine right now, it will not dry. It just does not dry. So in order to get the corn in, get the tillage done, get everything done before it rains or freezes, because we harvest on frozen ground plenty. We don't like doing it, but it happens. So before that happens, we want to get the crop off. 17% is plenty dry enough for us. That's why we own that new dryer out there. 17.
Same as right what the combine was saying.
The front was like 17.2 or 3, and the back was 17.0.
Wow, this borderline putting it right in the bin and just turning air on it.
Especially with some 80-degree days coming.
Yeah.
Next on the list is to transfer corn. We're going to try and get down, to the floor in this bin so that we can get eyes on it, make sure all the sumps are open, everything's good before we start filling it full of corn. And we've already done that in this back bin here, so that's where we're transferring that corn to, is back into here. So basically we're just making sure all the bins are good and clean, the sumps are moving, everything's flowing. So there we are, just moving from one bin to another. We've got a bin where the, I don't know what you'd call it, like the edging around the outside sump. I feel like I can't talk. Anyway, I need some self-tappers, probably about this long. What's that, 10 by 1? Need some of these.
สำหรับเราการจะหาน้ำดื่มสะอาดสักแก้วอาจไม่ใช่เรื่องยาก
I'll put them in my back pocket like every good mechanic does. I'll just show you what's going on. When that nasty windstorm came through a couple years ago where we lost a bin in a shed, something tweaked in here. And we had to basically take all the bolts out of this to allow to be able to move the sumps in there. Well, when we turn the fans on now, it pushes this out and all the air escapes here, and we need the air to go up through the corn and go out the top. So we want as little amount of air to come out here as we can get. So I'm just gonna screw it back in there again, that's all. That's it. 1, 2. Oh no. Well, it was close to 3. Got a half dozen in there, that should be good. I always like to check, make sure they're not spinning backwards. That can happen. I've explained a little bit before, but where the air goes in underneath the floor, there's no corn down here. So the corn, right, that's the concrete. There's no corn down here. So the corn starts up here, then it's a perforated floor, lets the air go out through the corn. Well, if there's a gigantic hole on the other side of the floor, it just goes through underneath the floor and it doesn't push out up through the corn and come out through the vents on the top of the bin. And the air is important to keep the corn cool and keep it from spoiling. All right, drop that off of the grain cart. We got things running back home. I got the Vikings game on. And I got the hounds with. And all I'm doing is going back into the yard. Intercepted by the Jets. Okay, maybe I should turn the game back off. Come on now. Time to go take a few acres out. I'm gonna fold up here and we're gonna drive up the road about 3/4 of a mile just to try some different corn that was planted on a different date, because the theory is this is 200 acres left of standing corn that's about 1% of moisture away from not needing to be dried at all. Meaning if we come back to it in 2 or 3 days, we don't need to dry it at all. We don't know, is the stuff up the road wetter? It should be because it's a later hybrid. We don't really know what to do. It's almost like if we waited a week, we wouldn't have to dry anything, but we're not gonna do that. We have to go on something, because either the wind or the rain or the snow will start to knock things down and cause problems. And the Vikings go 5-0. That's sweet. Back to the corn, basically what I'm saying is, yes, we could save a little bit of money, probably, if we waited a week for everything to dry down a little bit more. It's also risky. If you had $1 million of crop standing in the field that you could harvest, would you leave it out there and risk it just to save a few thousand? I'm not gonna. Dang it! The girls made me a snack and then I wasn't responsible enough with it.
Wilson gets a 1-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Rodgers, an 8-play 42.
a lot of people that, I'm really proud of the work we went down there and got those 3 points. I really cannot run here where the momentum.
Well, the corn isn't quite as dry here. It's a little bit more variable. The stuff in this area is 21, 22%, but then up in another spot in the end rows, it's down to that 15%. So a lot more variable, which was a lot closer to what we were really expecting when we started this year. I think our yield will be all right, though, especially once we get off the end rows. Yeah, kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe it'll even out a little bit as we get into the field. But yeah, that works for me. We'll just stay here, pick out these acres for now and get the dryer going.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Does a normal hot rod, which is the first inside.
What time do you need to leave the field, honey?
Our green cart driver's got hockey practice this afternoon, so we're gonna lose him soon. Quick stop to make sure everything looks good here. Make sure our ground is clean. I did a power shutdown as well, so the chaffer and sieves, everything is still full in there, so I'm gonna get in there and look and see if we're overloading one side at all. But so far, you see I scratched around here. There's a couple kernels there. Right in the middle to the left side of the machine. Good looking cobs coming out the back. So our concaves are set well. And that looks pretty close. It looks pretty good. The sample in the tank looks all right. I just need to be careful to not outdrive the capacity of the machine. It seems like it has enough power that I get into good corn and I want to drive a little too fast and push too much material through it. So we had an issue, or we've got an issue with our return, our returns, our re-thresher, whatever you want to call it. Return elevator speed is 0. As you can see, we're way overloading the system here, so I shut it down. We're plugged right now, but this is not supposed to be here. That's supposed to be in the tank. I don't know if we got a belt pad or a bearing going or something, so we're gonna open the door. Yeah, go ahead and drop it. No, it's full of corn. Is it full in there?
Empty.
It's empty, yeah, so it cleared itself out of there. You want to fire it up and I'll watch that elevator?
Yeah.
Ted's gonna fire it up and we'll see if this will clear itself out at all. Oh good, it moved.
I was sure that it'll be easier to clear you from my mind.
But why did it plug? We talked to one of our local techs a little bit. I'm gonna change my settings a little bit. I always want my sample so clean, and it is, but maybe I've got the sieves too tight. The sample's too clean. I've got the deep tooth chaffer in, so normally sieves would be, you know, down around that number. So I didn't think I was too far off. I don't know. I guess we'll try it. Well, so far, looking on the monitor, it seems like that helped to not overload the tail link so much, but I can't see what the sample looks like right now.
Yeah, we can look at that again. I bet it isn't bad.
Well, it sure looks clean going in the cart. It'll be easier once we're stopped unloading to see what it looks like, but it's not bad. I mean, that still looks pretty good. We've got everything full at the moment. 3 trucks and a grain cart. Might even have the pits full at home. So we are gonna head home before I get a decent test on this thing, but I think we're close. I mean, I never seem to stop fine-tuning things when I'm in a combine. It's just like, it's what there is to do, so it's what I do. We're gonna go fire the dryer now, move corn into it, and probably fire it up. I'm gonna say it again, I cannot believe the weather that we've gotten this fall. It's windy out today, but this is not what I had anticipated a month ago. You guys know that we have a lot of stuff going on here on the farm. We have a lot of moving pieces, and I'm not always here. I might be out in the field, or I might be out on the road for something, so I like to keep an eye on the place. I've told you about all the cool stuff that SimpliSafe does for us, where I can use the app to see the temperature in the shop, and I can use the cameras to see who's at my front door or make sure that the shop doors are closed, or I have carbon monoxide detectors, smoke alarms, glass break sensors, motion sensors, door sensors, you name it. Well, now they've got a really cool new option to add to the list. This is called Active Guard Outdoor Protection, where they actually use an outdoor camera and they can use AI to recognize threats or dangers or unwelcome people to your property. So a traditional alarm, a traditional system goes off if somebody breaks into your house, let's say, but that still gives an intruder like time to grab your cash box or your computer or your jewelry or whatever, your Babe Ruth rookie card, whatever it might be, right? They can still grab that and get out of there. But with Active Guard Outdoor Protection, they can actually stop this from happening in the first place, because the agents at SimpliSafe can speak directly to an unwelcome guest. There are no other systems that actually offer this kind of indoor and outdoor protection to your home. It starts at less than $1 a day for a plan. It gets delivered directly to your home or place of business. You can install it yourself in minutes. It's so easy, even I did it. So you can actually save 50% off of your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for a core monitoring plan and get your first month for free. Just visit simplisafe.com/millennialfarmer to get started on ordering yours today. Because there is no safe like SimpliSafe. So before we fire this thing up, I've climbed up into the plenum here. I guess I'm gonna call it a plenum. I gotta talk a little quieter, but show you guys what's inside here. So in where I'm standing now, there will not be any corn ever flowing. This is a burner up here, so it's gonna be really hot in here when this thing starts running. This is your sensor wire to let you know how hot it is. But the corn's gonna be inside the walls. The walls are, I don't know, maybe 2 feet thick. And the corn's just gonna be flowing through there. Once I close this door and the fan, the burner up here is pushing air into here, the only way for that air to get out of here is to go through this corn one way or another. So it's gonna go in through here and find its way out through one of those other triangles. There will be corn flowing right through here as it's running. I have ascended much higher now, so I'm at the very top of the dryer. So there's 3 plenums like the one I was just in. So it's the same thing, just 3 separate sections. The corn's just gonna keep flowing from top to bottom. So we're gonna start transferring into there. We're gonna have the meter rolls moving to be moving a little bit of corn right away. So we wanna make sure we're going into the bin we wanna go to, which we are. We're set up for that. Now that should open access at the top of the leg to the dryer, so it'll priority feed the dryer before overflowing into the wet bin. I think before we start the air system, let's run 50 bushels so we can hear better and make sure it's going into the dryer where we think it's supposed to.
Yep, I think so too.
And then
100 bushels into the dryer.
Yeah, run 100 bushels and then shut everything off, make sure we can see where it's going.
Yep.
And then we'll start up the meter rolls in the air.
นี่พี่มานแอร์มุ้งนะฮะใครสนใจนี่ไปซื้อได้อุดหนุนได้
I have good news, bad news, and then good news again.
What's that?
The corn's going in the dryer, but a few kernels are going out here, but there's nothing we can do about it because they're bouncing out of those triangles.
That's what I'm thinking. They're hitting the other triangle and bouncing out the first time you fill it.
So, I think it's correct. I was worried there was something open at the top.
Or something leaking.
All right, we're filling again now, which is much louder than I thought it would be. Big and loud and dusty. Okay, I'm leaving a lot off cameras. We're doing a lot of thinking here and it kind of hurts our heads. The variable rate air system and airlock is going right now, but it's so quiet because there's no corn being fed to it. So we just turned the meter rolls on at 2%. which should be feeding corn to it very, very slowly, which you can see right here. So it's turning the meter rolls, the corn just hasn't gotten to it yet because it's going so slow. You know, it's going through that extension, I bet. Once it hits this and starts falling, this will sense the extra load on the system and it'll pick up automatically, I think. We can hear corn trickling through the pipe now, so there's corn moving through the air system at a very slow speed. And it should be going into this bin here. And I can definitely hear it coming through this pipe and going up there. Can you hear it?
Well, it just seems like it doesn't have enough power to blow it all the way to the top of the bin, but it's coming in there, isn't it? The eyes aren't good, but I think I can hear it.
I can hear it through the pipe, so it's going somewhere over here. Hopefully it's inside the bin.
In there, I can see them now.
Okay. See that air pipe behind me? This one right here? Now it's plugged. I don't know why. It's like the air system didn't pick up and compensate, like when I said I think. Apparently I thought wrong. It's got corn in it all the way to here.
All the way, it didn't have enough pressure to blow it up there.
No. Oh man.
That is bad. What's going on there? It moves that hard now. That is open. Oh man, I got one. That wasn't like that last year.
There is a grease circle on that. I didn't hit that. So we moved this off of our plugged pipe, and we're going to try and push a little bit of what's in here into that bin, and then see if it'll push the rest out, but it won't. It's moving. Is it going to trip out? No, it opened. It did blow that pipe clean. It blew that pipe clean. Tough part is now we move it back to that other pipe, and it's got 200 more feet of packed corn to try to move uphill. We're gonna try something different now. So I got my eye protection, my earplugs on. It killed the motor. I couldn't even, it latched so quick I couldn't even pull it off when the motor started bogging. What? Yeah, I just threw the fault, I'm sure. It didn't move a thing. You think there's a chance in hell? No, it didn't even come close to attempting that. That was a complete failure. A quick one. Well, I'm gonna go grab an impact and we're gonna take the pipe apart. I did talk to DHS for a second. For whatever reason, the motor wasn't on full speed, so it wasn't set or it wasn't capable of picking up enough speed to keep up with that corn. I don't know why it was when they left here, so I don't know if I ran it on a different mode or what happened there. Okay, well I hope we got it open by then, but I'll try what you're saying here and see if we can get it. All right, thanks, Dita. Bye. Dita says he's never not been able to get one. He said instead of slamming that pipe like I did and getting it latched, he said just keep working at it a little bit at a time and eventually it'll start opening up. I think we should try it once more.
Keep working the pipe back and forth?
Like the lever I had, you know, like I put it on and I pulled it too far and it latched shut. He said just give it a little, back it off, give it a little, back it off, and just keep working at it.
Sure, try it. We've already
blown
once, but as far as I can reach up there, it's full.
Okay, so I doubt it's going to work, but let's try it before we dump 10 bushels on the ground.
Yep.
If it doesn't work and we pull one of these clamps, and that pipe is full, then I bet it'll loosen up.
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
Right.
10, 12 years ago.
We'll sweep the concrete so we can clean it up quick.
Yeah, but it'll be out the grass.
The corn?
Yeah.
Was it that much?
I'll bet it's 10 bushels. It comes out pretty fast and hard.
It's always nice to have extra messes to clean up anyway. second and I actually got it to seal on there and tripped it like that. There's no chance.
I don't think there is.
It's just too long of a run, it's too packed, there's no chance in hell we're gonna get that. Right? It's not. It's inch and 16.
It is?
I don't know.
I think they're just loose. I think if we can leave them on and try and slide it off, just they're loose. You would twist and slide back.
Mallet?
We'd like this to move with it. Would be great if we can.
Yeah, I'll get a mallet.
Well, I wonder maybe if you get straddle this, or I can see about picking this up and see if we can slide it. I mean, you got to make sure that black goes
Well,
out.
I mean, I can try.
That's what, yeah.
I understand. I know what happens if we don't, but I can't do that at all by hand.
I got it about an inch before. So
What if we take this support out? I know you got it an inch, but I can't go. There I can, but that's going backwards, I think. I don't think this is hoping it's this.
think so?
Yeah, 100% it's that. It's always a tight one.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're lifting on when you spin it.
By twisting.
Does it make it better or worse?
It spins easier, but it almost feels like there's something that you're caught in between them. Oh.
Oh yeah, something
See,
clunks.
something's inside there.
Something clunks when you do that.
Yeah.
Does it clunk if you go the other way? Come towards me?
It did.
Oh, what the hell is causing that? There, there. This is what I remember.
It's still falling down to you?
Oh yeah, as long as I get my hand in there and wiggle.
Should I keep hammering, or what do you think?
Yep. It's too bad it doesn't fall down on its own. It's packed so tight it just doesn't.
Oh man.
I just hope we don't have to do this back there.
Yeah. What if we try and blow just a little air now? Would it blow a little out of here, you think?
Probably. It would poof.
You don't remember doing that before?
Well, we're pretty confident there's 10 times that plugged really tight in that pipe because it's not flowing out easy. We're gonna try and do what I just tried previously with that end open, and it's gonna fly everywhere and make a mess.
You gonna leave the camera here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope my camera battery doesn't go dead.
I hope not. I moved it this way, so maybe I'll keep more in the cement.
Okay.
As big a mess as I was expecting.
I was able to get it like halfway on, so it was still bleeding out air around, but I could kind of tell it was moving corn.
It was, yep, a little bit
Yeah.
Plop would come out and then a little more and a little bit more.
Yeah, so now we put the clamp back on, try it again, see if it'll push that stuff uphill.
Yeah, that's going to be harder, but
Do the same
there
thing.
isn't that much corn in the pile.
No.
So there probably isn't that much in the pipe going up either.
Probably not. All right, one more time, I hope. Here we go.
Did it do anything? I heard a little rattling, not much, but there's all the air's coming in there.
It's locked in it. It's locked into it, so there couldn't have been hardly any corn left in there.
I don't think there was.
Well, that was a quick hour-long mishap. Hopefully we don't run into too many more of those. We are now continuing to load the dryer. Dryer's almost full now, so we dumped one truck from the field today, so a little bit wetter corn. We're gonna start dumping the other ones. This way the dryer is full of drier corn at the bottom, since that won't get as dry. And wetter corn at the bottom, which just works out well. Last load was 19.6, which was up 2.5–3% from the first field. See where this one ends up. Oh, that's better. About 2% wetter. 1.5. Okay, well, 6:30 in the evening now. That was pretty much exactly the time we thought we'd get the dryer started. No, we thought we'd have it before this. Did I start the fans?
I think so. Yeah, I think we might as well.
Initiating fan 1. I hear it. I hear it. There's really nothing to see. The fans are up in here, but I can hear it. One at a time on heat, or should we just try them all?
I'm fine either way. I think it does one and then the second one.
We'll watch them. The bottom one definitely fired. Oh, now they're all going. They're all jumping. So that means each plenum is building heat. It doesn't look a whole lot different when it's running than when it's not. We got all kinds of fun stuff we can watch in here. We can watch our plenum temps. All 3 of them climbed up when I started. That is a good thing. All right, we need to fire our air system and start unloading some here. Unload at, let's just go 10% for now, and let's kick the load on. I don't hear any bad noises yet. Nothing's turned off. Well, there's 2 of us out here working right now, and as they say, it's hard to find good help. It wasn't me. I'll give you a guess as to who it might have been. Nothing like making a bunch of messes on day 1. Everything seems to be running pretty smoothly to the point that Dad took off. So I'm gonna sit here and watch this thing for a couple hours, and then it's probably gonna be about out of corn, so I'll shut it off. And then tomorrow, I hope I'm right this time. Tomorrow we're gonna go. We're gonna move. We're gonna bring bushels in. Things are gonna happen. So in the meantime, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Head over to Farm Focus. There's a link below for all of our apparel, including this hoodie, which Onyx designed himself. You can get this in a t-shirt as well. And if you don't like t-shirts, all you gotta do is cut the sleeves off of them or use a torch, whatever. You can have yourself a sleeveless. Anyway, thank you guys once again for watching. I appreciate it. Keep it between the rows.
What's
Wow. Be nice to her. No. Don't show Courtney we're doing this.
Who planted so many acres of corn?
Yeah, she's down again. Come on, sweetie. I tell you, this is an emotional roller coaster. Good morning. You know, it's a cold morning, but it is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. Fall continues to be my favorite time of year just for the absolute beauty of it. And quite often we are working all the time around it and you don't pay as much attention to it. Well, let's go see how Ruby Sue is doing this morning. Hi, Ruby. Hi, ladies. How you doing? You cozy? I hope she's just sleepy. I think she is. Hunkering down, staying warm. Okay, we've got two ladies now, one with a rotten front shoulder, which I saw yesterday. She was eating, but she's now backed off. And then the other little brown face ewe, I've had my eye on. I treated her a few days ago. She's limping on her back foot. There's nothing wrong with it that I can see. There's no foot rot. There's no hoof issue that I can tell. So I don't know whether she's like injured her actual foot or ankle. But she doesn't like putting weight on that back leg. So we got two ewes that are sort of not loving their legs. But other than that, everybody sort of went up to eat. All right, we have officially started corn again here today. I think this is our third day. The first couple days was just sort of to make sure everything was working and definitely to get the corn off that wetter farm that we have. This farm is our biggest. I think it's like 170 acres or something like that. So it's gonna take a few days, I think, here, but it's really close to home, which is nice. So if there's any issues, it's literally right next door.
การจะหาน้ำดื่มสะอาดสักแก้วอาจไม่ใช่เรื่องยากแต่สำหรับเด็กอีกกว่า190 ล้านคน
We are in a line at the local mill. We're getting rid of those last two wagons of soybeans. We've been in line here for half an hour, I think. So Mark got out and stretched, and now he's talking to some fellow farmers, which is really what it's all about. We had a good day of corn, but we filled the wet bin. So we are not going to be able to do anything until tomorrow morning after chores. So everybody's lined up to come back. And we'll do it all over again. Good morning, you guys. We have made it to Friday. I believe I chatted with you guys a couple days ago about changing my feed rations. This particular change is because we had to change our feed bag. I have run out of my... What cut was that? First cut? Yeah, we just finished our first cut, so we're moving into our new seeding oatlage. It was really, really wet. It was hard to harvest. So I have been talking to Courtney. She made me up some new rations, just temporary rations, until she can come and do a feed sample. So I am just gonna put that on my spreadsheet right now and get that finished. And then we will continue on with chores because we are full on corn harvest. Yesterday we filled pretty fast, so yields are really good, and the corn is very dry. We typically start, like, if we're lucky, the last few years we've been starting at like 28-29% moisture, probably more into the 30s, and this year our first loads have been like 23. We aren't used to this. We're very happy about it because we also get charged a carbon tax, and it makes a huge difference at the end of the year on our drying bill. So happy that Mother Nature has helped us out in the drying department this year. So I want to get going here. We'll feed, we'll observe those ewes that are on their close-up ration, just make sure that they're still eating and not backing off, and also have a look at those two ewes. Okay, this is the first day that we've got quite a bit of the new oatlage in the feed. So they're definitely being a little more fussy. You usually don't see this definitely in this first pen. They're doing a lot more walking around. And they're quite literally trying to find spots with better tasting feed, I think. Or like feed that they're used to. So I think that's why we're seeing a lot more wandering everywhere. I'm not gonna automatically just assume they're backed off the feed. The bunks were clean this morning. And then my lady is still on her front haunches back there. She's back here. That one. Hey, Mama. Can we see your leg? I want to see you walk on your shoulder. Just sort of baby in that front leg. Front right. What we got going on? Eh? She's definitely babying that front right leg. Not really sure what she did. So maybe some Metacam. If I can catch her. Okay, we'll see if we can catch her here. She can run when she's trying to escape, so yeah, she's definitely limping, but she can walk when she wants to, but she's got some painkiller in her. We'll see how she is over the next few days, I guess.
I would be a liar. Oh, if I'm gonna crash.
Ladies. Hi, Billy's mom. I don't want to scare you. Hi, where's Ruby Sue? Guys, you're supposed to keep track of her. Ruby Sue! She around the corner? Oh, behind me! Oh, honey. You're not eating grass. Hmm? Are you alright? Are you okay? You see my uniforms? Oh no. She's not chewing her cud. Oh, I don't know, you guys. It upsets me a little bit that she wasn't with her family out on the grass, because she's usually always out there with them. Her breathing isn't the greatest either. Hello, tomatoes. Hi. How are you? It's been a while. Hi. You keep an eye on Ruby Sue? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Wow. Whoa. Ooh, it's dilly.
Looks bigger somehow.
I know.
Oh my gosh, it's
It is
cold in
cold.
here.
They've been leaving windows open.
Wow. I like how tall it is, the roof.
Yeah.
The roof.
I don't think they've done too much down here since...
I didn't see any of this.
Yeah, I know, this is all new for you.
Holy, it's freezing.
It is cold. Brr.
Oh. Looks like some stuff is done on there.
Yeah.
Did I take the ladder out?
Because I think they're going to do the stairs soon. Well, corn is done for the day. We actually got 56 acres off today, which is great. We only got 44 off yesterday before we filled up, so maybe just a little bit drier, and the dryer could just keep up today. Jess just got home. She actually had an appointment in town. I think every 3 months or so, 3 months, 6 months, she needs to get an ultrasound just to make sure everything is still good. And she is currently studying. She has midterms next week. All right, let's get some wool labeled. I wasn't going to reveal the one collection to you guys, but because we've been really struggling with Ruby Sue, I really want you guys to see this in case anything happens to her, because I made this logo, like I made this design months ago with my Fiverr designer. This is actually a sort of a collaborative effort between Mark and I. I was sitting at the kitchen table and I said, I really want to do another Golden Girls collection this year, and I want to do the same blend because you guys all loved it last year. And he goes, yeah, that'd be good. And I said, but Ruby and Big Mama aren't with us anymore and have to have a new logo, but I really want to include them still. And he said, well, what if you have them sort of in the sky looking down on them like guardian angels? I'm like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. So I told the artist that I work with on Fiverr, and I literally just wrote, I said, can you take those characters that you drew last year and put them in front of the barn? And I sent her a picture of the barn, and I said, and can you have these two, because they passed this year, can you put them so they're sort of in the sky on a cloud, sort of looking down on them? And she did such a good job. I cried when I got the picture. So anyway, I don't know if you'll be able to see it clearly or not here. Can you see that? How cute is that? So this is Ruby Sue looking up at her mom. that's so sweet. Yeah, I'm looking at this now and I'm like Ruby, Sue is looking up at Ruby. I'm like, how did she know? This collection means like the world to me this year just because I don't have good feelings about Ruby Sue. Anyway, so that's one. So I'll leave the other one as a surprise, but I'll show you the wool. So again, like you guys have seen this because this is the same blend we did last year. Of course, they all look a little bit different again, but we took the colors of the Golden Girls and made it into a blend. So there'll be some whites, some browns, some grays, some blacks, and even some of the gray, the silver, almost came out like a blue, like blue hair. So I thought that was pretty sweet. Oh, I don't think she meant to do it, but sometimes just the dye, how the wool just takes in the dye, it can do that. Like even this little spot right here, you won't be able to see it, but this little gray right there almost has a blue, a hint of blue. A little sneak peek for you guys. That's what's coming, and we made a lot. So I think if you missed out last Christmas, I think I tripled the amount we made. So you should not miss out this year on this. The wool portion of my day is now complete. Didn't get barely anything done, but I have to unload some wagons now. So my cropper hat is back on. Good morning. A little eerie, if I do say so myself. It's not even Halloween yet, but we're getting closer, which is terrifying. Lucy, honestly, every time I turn on the camera, no humility in that girl. All right, we have made it to day 6, I think. I think we're on day 6 of chores. Tomorrow's my last day, and then Carissa is home. I sort of promised her we wouldn't wean lambs until Tuesday, give her a day of reprieve. And I'm just counting my bags of feed left, and we might have to wean Monday. Well, that doesn't help my creep situation when the ewes have found their way in. How'd you go, Mama? I see you in there. No. Come on. You got in. You know how to get out. Okay, I now know who the ewe is that has the bum shoulder, and it's actually an old injury. I remembered last night when I was talking to maybe Jess about it. I actually had the vet out for her. It was, I think it was last March, so not March of 2024, but March of 2023. She got caught, her head got caught in a gate, and when I went to help get the head out of the gate, she jerked and she did something with her leg. Are you done? Down the wrong tube, buddy. And she went at, like, her shoulder immediately, like she was limping and not putting any weight on her shoulder, on her leg. So I brought the vet out, our local vet, and she looked at her and she said, she goes, there's nothing you can do, it's like dislocated. She would put weight on it, but not a lot, but she was a smaller ewe. She was a ewe lamb at that point. So I'm wondering now that she's got more weight on her and she's full of babies, that it hurts to stand on that shoulder. because up to this point I've sort of lost track of her, but her coloring matches perfectly. I remember she had a very silvery face with almost white around her eyes, and I'm like, that's her for sure. Same shoulder, and I remember at the time, because we were dealing with Jess's diagnosis at that point, and I remember thinking if I just left her alone, she wouldn't have like freaked out, and then she wouldn't have strained her shoulder. And I remember the vet being here, and after she left, I broke with all the stuff going on. Yeah, so she's down. She's still down up back there. She did get up and go eat for a brief moment, but if she stops eating, she's not only gonna have a bum leg, but she's gonna go down with preg tox. I'm not really sure what to do. If she's in pain, if I should just put her down, or do I wait and nurse her and just keep giving her Medicam every other day until she lambs, and then maybe getting that weight off her, she won't be in as much pain. I don't know. I might just text Rex on Monday if I don't see any improvement and just say, what would you do here? And he would probably be like, I would have gotten rid of her a long time ago. But again, I sort of lost track of her.
Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. You supply the creativity.
Ruby Sue, good morning. Hi, you look much better today. Hi. You coming up for some hay? Let me push it down for you. Well, it's a bit of a roller coaster of emotions over here every day. She loves that hay. So as long as we keep the feeder going. And last night when I was unloading wagons after the merch room, I saw them all outside. And I saw her. Billy's mom, don't you be mean. Be nice to her. No. Be nice. Billy's mom. Listen, we know you're in charge, but she's not feeling good. Here. There. Keep that. Thought everybody could use a daily dose of lambs eating hay. Not in your bed.
I feel like I should be. Tired. 7 more days after this.
We can do it.
I don't know. Who planted so many acres of corn?
Is it even as many as you usually do?
150 more. Well, maybe not quite. 100 acres more, 110 acres more.
You can do it.
Well, I have to. I don't have a choice. It's groundhog
What time
day.
were you done last night?
Midnight. 6 hours sleep, that's all I need.
That's all I need.
We just do it at different times.
Yes, we do. Good morning. It was a busy day yesterday. Our spreading crew, they were here all yesterday afternoon. They're probably going to just finish up this morning by the looks of the placements of everything. But our sheep manure is all spread on our corn stalks there. And then on our hay ground, we're actually spreading our in-laws, well, my in-laws, Mark's dad's chicken manure. So we tend to not put our sheep manure where we take their feed from. We try to keep it different species. So poultry manure on the hay ground, sheep manure on whatever is not going to be fed directly to the sheep. We typically don't spread this time of year, but we have perfect weather for it, and we did have some stockpile manure that we had to sort of get rid of before the winter. So happy we've had this amazing weather. We've just been getting a lot of stuff done we usually never get done. Anyway, this is my last day of chores for a while. Carissa comes back today to Canada, and I'm gonna be so happy to see her. I was going through the comments of my last video, and a bunch of you were wondering if the ewe that has the bum shoulder is one that fell when we were moving it. She's actually not even in that group. The girl that fell is laying down right there. She's our sort of Tunisy looking ewe. Right there. And she was fine, she just slipped. It was you, wasn't it? Yes. She's fine. No problem there. I think it's looking like we're gonna have to wean these lambs probably tomorrow. I have enough feed for today, probably have enough feed for tomorrow. I don't want to run out. If we run out, that's when we'll have problems across the road, because they're going to gorge on the new stuff, and then they could develop like polio or like grain overeating disease. And that would be bad, because these lambs look really, really good. So the reason we have bags, we have that bin in the corner that we usually put our creep in, but we weren't sure how much we were going to need. I wanted the bin empty for our next lambing group, because when we lamb here in the winter, like end of November, we're actually switching our creep feed to more of a mash feed. So I didn't want the pellets still in that bin. I wanted that bin completely empty. So we've been ordering bags, which is, you know what, we probably, honestly, for how many bags we've got, we probably could have easily gotten through another silo of grain, but okay, sounds like they're hungry. We're good. I think we can wean Tuesday. Okay, Freckles. Treats for Freckles. Don't show Courtney we're doing this. Treats for Teddy. And treats for Frida. Come here. Okay, Weaning Tuesday. Okay, everybody is up to eat. Oh, my mama with the sore shoulder just laid down just as I said that. She did get up to eat, which is a great sign. So we've been giving her Medicam, which is a painkiller, every other day. So that should help her keep getting up and eating, but still not sure what to do on her. So I will text Rex in the morning and just get his sort of thoughts. I am wondering if we can keep her going until she lambs, and then if she lambs, maybe it just takes that weight, that extra weight off her. Yeah, she's down again. The problem is we're still 5 weeks out, just under 5 weeks out, so to keep her on that sore shoulder for 5 weeks seems a little, I don't know, it doesn't seem right. So we'll see. He may just want me to move her into her own little spot, and then she can lay down and eat if she wants. But she needs to stay up. She needs to get up and moving around, because that just leads into more issues. Good morning, ladies. All accounted for. That's good to see. Guys are gonna need more hay soon. Hi, Ruby. Ruby. Come on over. Come on. Come on, sweetie. I don't know, at this point, all you can do is really just offer it, and on the good day, she's gonna eat. She was outside, though. They all just came in the door as I was coming up. She's going in her corner. Don't love that. I tell you, this is an emotional roller coaster. You all right, honey? It's not really good when they isolate themselves. Oh, it's so hard to see. Hard to watch. Had a minor setback this morning. Our generator overheated. It's been working pretty non-stop, running this grain system, and we've had quite a bit of red dog flying in the air, and I think our screen on the rad got sort of plugged and shut everything down, and then of course everything was loaded with corn, so everything was plugged, but not a terrible hard fix, and we're off and going again, which is great. Get this done. What a beauty day. Another just absolute glorious day. We have nicely moved into Mark's dad's farm now. This is a 86-acre field, I think. I cannot get over this weather. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't remember a corn harvest this nice. I mean, we have some nice days with corn harvest, but not a stretch like this. So this will be another 2-day field, I would think, because we had 20 acres in the other field to finish up this morning. We'll be lucky to get maybe 30 acres off here, just depending on yield. Anyway, I think money's almost full here, so gonna be on the road again.
Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be harvesting corn with a brand new 2024 16-row corn head. We've never done this before, and I'm so excited. we hook onto this absolute beast, we're gonna do some small calibrations. Then it's time to get in the field. Take a long, hard look, folks. This is the cleanest and nicest this corn head will ever look or be again. Brand new 16-row John Deere corn head with Devastators. Time to get it hooked up.
The head's on, the combine's set for corn, the corn is ready, let's go harvest.
This may not seem significant to you, but this is super significant to us for a couple different reasons. One, this is way bigger than any corn head we've ever owned. We've owned 8 rows, a 12 rows, never a 16 row. And this is super helpful because it matches up perfectly with our planter, which is also a 16 row. So there's no guess rows, you're driving exactly where the planter did, which makes harvesting way easier. 2, this is by far the most expensive corn head we have ever owned. There's a pretty hefty price tag on this thing, but it's worth it because it's going to make harvesting so much easier. Our old corn head broke down so many times last year and cost us a lot of time and a lot of labor and a lot of parts. And so the fact that, like I mentioned, this thing is brand new, untested, never been in a field before, we are running the very first crops through it. Britt and I had the opportunity to tour one of the John Deere's facilities here in the United States, and the kind of precision and care that goes into assembling these implements is so intricate, and so it's really cool to actually be using one of these brand new ones on our field. So like I said, it's a really big investment, but I think after this harvest we're going to see that it's totally worth it. Remember, this is a super important time of year for us. This crop is the only way we make any money and pay for all of our inputs that we've been holding on to all of year. So we need this harvest to go smoothly.
So on the farm we buy a lot of used things because we don't want to, I don't know, we always let somebody else wear the new off of, like you buy an old truck and somebody's already scratched it. And it's like, oh, if I put a couple scratches, no big deal. But this is so surreal because I'm driving it through the cornfield, intentionally scratching it. It feels terrible, but it's what it's made to do. So let's keep scratching the corn head.
We've never purchased something new, have we?
Your blue pickup. That was
my blue pickup. The blue Ram is the first new thing we've ever purchased, and I think this is only the second. It's a little scary. Are you nervous?
Oh, very. And this costs 3 times what a pickup truck costs.
Hopefully this thing's going to pay itself off and then earn us money. The end rows come out first, then we'll move on to the rest of the field.
We are full.
With corn harvest, in direct opposition to soybean harvest, we're dealing with sometimes over 3 times the amount of crop in taking into the combine and out the auger into the grain cart.
Corn is only worth a third as much.
Very sad. Funny how that works out. So for soybeans, our average yield is somewhere around 70 to 80 bushels per acre. And with corn, especially on irrigated, we're dealing more with, hopefully, I guess we're about to see once we do this field, somewhere around 270 to 280. But like I said, corn is not worth even close to the amount that soybeans are.
We got Gage running the cart today. Doing a good job.
First combine load of corn for 2024 going in the grain cart.
The crazy thing to think about is all of the grain that our farm produces comes out of one auger. I just think that's weird.
That is kind of odd. A lot of wear and tear on that.
This machine will touch every plant we grow. Just a weird thing to think about since we only have one combine.
Combines are really expensive, but when you think about it like that, we couldn't farm without it.
I'll back up, just go in front of me.
That is the first of many, many loads over the next about 6 weeks. We've got 1 combine, 2 grain carts, and 3 trucks, but we never actually have enough people to fill all of those positions. So it's usually just me, Grant, Gage, and 2 other people bouncing between all of those roles. Underneath of the corn head, we have these things called devastators. These really big, heavy rolling pins. And you can just see how they're stomping over the stalks. Looks so good. Hey Gage, what do you like better, corn harvest or soybean harvest?
Well, corn for sure.
What makes it so much better?
It doesn't affect my allergies as bad.
Oh, that soybean dust is absolutely the worst. I just like how much faster corn harvest goes. It feels like we're actually getting something done out here.
Oh yeah, we're trucking her along.
Does the 16-row corn head make you nervous at all because you're so much closer to it compared to the 12-row?
Well, I'm just hoping we don't have like solar flares like last year when we were planting. And my GPS goes all wonky because I use that when I'm next to the combine so I can focus on the cart.
Oh, really? You have your auto steer line pulled up in there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, isn't that fancy? Look at us, high-tech farmers over here. This spring, we suffered a terrible rainstorm. And while we're always thankful for rain, this rain came really hard and really fast and actually washed away a bunch of this field. But we borrowed a 1-row planter from a neighbor and came out here, and look at the job it did. It's a little bit messy, but you know what? We've got coverage here. All of this was washed away and we were able to replant it.
สอบถามได้นะครับ
เพิ่งซื้อ iPad มาแนะนำเคสหน่อย
ปกติใช้ iPad ทำอะไรเหรอครับ
ชอบดูหนังซีรีส์
We'll blame the sandwich on this one. Can't even defend himself. His mouth is so full of sandwich.
It's pretty good.
don't think anyone on this farm has smashed more. The Grant has.
You're really throwing me under the bus here. Under the combine.
I'm just saying, this thing's brand new. You guys have to let us know. The person who smashes the first scoop, because it will happen, what should they have to do? What should the punishment be? I think it should be something terrible. It's harvest time here on the farm. We have spent all year planting, watering, and growing our crops, and it's finally time to get our finished product out of the field. But where does all of this corn go? Nebraska is the nation's second largest ethanol provider, and I am very proud to be partnered with Chief Industries to tell you about their ethanol division. We got the chance to tour Chief's ethanol plant and see firsthand just how important this industry is to our state and our country.